Welcome to the channel, everyone. For those of you that are new, I'm Bobby V, and on this channel, we talk about generating your own insurance leads, selling effectively, working smarter, not harder, and growing your business using automated systems. All right. So as always, we have a special guest on board with us today, Miss Diana Castile. Diana is a very, very hard worker, very consistent. She runs a big insurance business as well as her own construction business as well. She stays very busy, works super hard, stays consistent, and she writes business at a very high level. Her and I can sit here talking for days about, how we run business and generate leads and marketing and all sorts of different things. So we're going to get into some of that today. But as we always do, we'll start at the beginning. Diana, let's if you can introduce yourself and kind of just talk about how you got into business, and just your journey up until this point and what you got planned for the near future.
Thank you very much, Bobby. I actually got started in the insurance industry in 2015. Wow, I can't believe it's been this long so far. I did restaurant retail for a little over 25 years. And the long and the short of it is I was trying to get my time back. My husband was having some major health issues, and my daughter was having some, issues with a pregnancy. And I was a retail manager at the time, and I was spending so much time at work. I was putting in, 70, 80 hours a week, and I wanted to find a way to get my time back. And I was looking at either doing real estate or insurance. And I had a very close friend of mine who had been doing insurance for a while. And so talked to him, and the rest, as they say, is history. So I wanted to find a way to be able to replace my income as a manager. And so this is where I ended up at. So this was that journey that I started on.
There you go. There you go. So you got into the business. Have you always focused on the life side of things, or do you work health, do you work Medicare, ACA, anything like that?
Yes. So I was very fortunate when I got started that I found myself a good mentor. And I always encourage anybody that's getting into this business to make sure that they get themselves a good mentor, because it's really going to kind of make or break how you do in this business, because you are only as good as the people that you surround yourself with. Mm-hmm. And so I started off doing life and health from the very beginning. And it's just something that I've always done, because you never know what the person's needs are going to be. So I do life, health, I do annuities, whatever it is. I've got that all those tools and tricks in my tool belt.
Yep, I love it. I love it. Awesome, awesome. So when you got into business, were you focusing on? Was the only option to you, like you may have not have known of the world of generating your own leads and certain systems and things like that. So was your only option, or the option that was spoken to you by maybe your upline or mentor or something, we have to buy leads, and we have these vendors, and this is where we have to buy them from, and we just call them off a sheet of paper, a spreadsheet, whatever it is. And was that like your world leading up to about the past year or so?
Yes, that was the only option that we had. And that's actually what got me into the business, because when I saw the leads, I was like, listen, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I can figure this out. Like, somebody has filled out this request, sent it in, put their name, their date of birth, their height, weight, whether they're smokers or non-smokers, walk to their mailbox, put it in the mailbox, and put a stamp on it. Like, I can do something with this. And so that's what got me. And I was like, it's a numbers game. And that's just what I did for the longest time. But as I continue to develop as an agent, I understood, because of my background in, business, I was like, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way. And so I just kind of kept pulling at that thread, and doing my research. And so that's, how you and I got connected, because I wanted to find a way that I could make it more personalized for me, and
Mhm.
kind of get those real-time leads. And I didn't want to have the situations. What really flipped the switch for me is I was out doing docs, and one day I had three homes that I got to, and the people had already passed away by the time I got to them.
Wow.
And one man, when he came to the house, he had a shirt on that said, "I love my wife." And I was like, "Oh, that's really sweet. How long have you guys been married?" And he said, "We buried her yesterday. How can I help you?"
Wow.
And that, I just, I, it was so impactful to me, because the lead that I had, it just had already been through the system so many times. By the time it got to me, it was a 2-year-old lead, and nobody had gotten this lady taken care of.
Right.
And I don't want to continue to have that happen. So I figured there's got to be a better way to do this. And so I went on a route to find a solution, not just continue to complain about the problem.
Right. So you knew, I mean, I love how you find a path and you want to get there, and innovative and everything, and very confident on getting there. So you knew there had to be a better way to get leads coming in live and resolve these faster. Get in contact, whether you do it over the phone, whatever it is, and resolve these, have a conversation, and do whatever you can to try to help. Whenever you're buying old age leads, or they can be old age leads or other leads, wherever you're buying them from, you have no clue where they came from, when they came in, the process of them scheduling appointments or filling out certain questionnaires and just talking to them, or even branding yourself, just can't happen, right? It's not a part of the process. So we came in contact, right?
Yes.
Sure. Sometimes I make tons of posts on Facebook and things like that, spark conversations. And it's really to help not only agents, but to help clients that need insurance, right? Because if, like, you came into this situation where you're generating your own leads now, and you can talk to people fast, right? They know who
Absolutely.
you are. It's branded under your branding on Facebook. And when you talk to them, they've already seen your face, maybe read through your profile. They know who you are. And it's easier to have that conversation, and kind of turn it into an enrollment call, not necessarily a sales call, depending on the phone call, or the actual person. So now you turn that situation into those homes you win that day, to doing what you do now, get them on the phone fast and try to resolve the situation and get them covered, because you've
And
seen
most of the
firsthand.
calls, yeah, most of the calls, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but most
Okay.
of the time when I talk to people, I end up getting them covered within that phone call.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, I mean, it's just been crazy to me how the shift in the transition. Like, I started with doing this back in July, and just as a kind of I call it a soft rollout.
Mhm.
When we did it initially, I was so excited when we did it, trying to test it out, and I wrote like $11,000 that month, and then fast forward to this month, and I did $10,000 in one day,
And
and I'm
one day.
like, this is absolutely insane how this works. Like, it's so consistent. It just is crazy. And you don't know. I say all the time, you don't know. And I am so glad that I'm doing this now. Wishing I had been doing this before. And, you know, I'm showing other agents how to do this. This is the only many of my new agents, like this is it.
It,
This is all that we're doing.
the biggest thing about this is you actually retain that revenue, right? Because let's say, you know, you wrote $10,000 in a day. You were getting leads for $3 to $5, fresh leads coming in live, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't exist in other agents' worlds, right? If they're paying $3 to $5 a lead, it's because they're buying a 2-year-old old lead and they're getting hundreds of them, and they got a call from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, trying to strike some gold.
Yeah,
Or
a real
it's the
time lead.
opposite.
That's the thing that's crazy, is getting a real time lead and being and even being able to, you know, to communicate and have those dialogues, like having somebody that when they book an appointment, and you know, if I had somebody that I had an appointment with today, and so she texted me that she needed to reschedule because she had to work. And I texted her back. I was like, oh, you know, I was like, I hate it when, you know, you all in. I was like, not a problem. We can reschedule for tomorrow if that works for you. I've got 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Which one works better for you? She's like, oh, that's great. I didn't think you worked on Saturday. Can we do 4? And so I rescheduled for 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Perfect. And you already got some kind of rapport built, you know, some common ground, and
Exactly.
you're gonna probably write her a policy, you know.
Yeah.
So
It like it's so, and you're absolutely right. Like, I know, first of all, I know she's gonna answer the phone when I call her
mhm.
because we're already texting. And even being able to, you know, give them that option. Hey, you know what, do you want to text or do you want me to call? Because there's, you know, there's some people, they're like, you know what, can you just text me instead of calling? I'll text them like 2 times and they're like, can you just call me?
Right. Just call me. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, but it cuts out people like it just it everything is built into the system. You've got your objection messages, they're in there, like the whole system. And like I said, I did the research. I went down the rabbit hole, and I really liked that because, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot of programs and companies and all that other stuff out there. And I am that lady. I'm asking all of, I know I may be crazy. Like, I am self-aware.
And the
When we
thing is
got
with those other systems are all horrible because
They are
you're chasing kind of the shiny objects. There's a
right.
lot of guys that are on YouTube, Facebook. You see their ads every day, how I
Hmm.
help agents do this and that, but they really don't. Um,
Yeah, and they can't answer the questions when you ask them.
they can't
That's
answer
the
the
thing that,
questions,
yes, that's the thing
and
that I can tell you.
they don't have. With myself, I started as an agent doing this on my own, right? So this organically happened, that I built this business, helping agents generate leads, automated sales, all that stuff, right? I didn't just have an idea to say, hey, I'm going to try to do this. I actually did it. So I've helped. I really do not know if there's anyone in the industry that has helped as many agents start generating their own leads and doing this whole thing as me, because the costs that I charge, right? It's a fraction of what anyone else will. The thing is, the simplicity of it is a huge factor. Anyone else that has a system or something like that, you're going through a 2-month course, and you're like, what the heck is this? Yeah, at some point, you know what I mean? You're like, I just want
Yep.
leads, like right now,
Yes.
tomorrow. Like, how do I
Yes.
do that? You know what I mean? And those people don't have testimonials with hundreds and hundreds of agents that have had
Hmm.
success. Nothing. It doesn't exist. So anyone that's watching this, listen to Diana, because believe me, she did her research. She talked to everybody,
I'm gonna tell
and
you
this is
what,
where we're at.
I'm like, do not blow smoke and call it sunshine. Like, I don't have time for it. Like, I do not have the time, patience, or the energy for somebody with a bunch of nonsense. And so I asked, you know, can you give me an idea of what the ROI is? I went down the list and I was like, okay, I basically did an interview on what is this system going to look like? When can I start, you know, expecting to see some kind of results? because I know what my skill set is. So I know with my skill set, if I have a system that is going to actually produce results, what it should look like. And I'm like, don't give me that, oh, well, it depends on the agent. I get that. Like, I'm not special and simple. I understand that. I need to know based on what your system going to look like. And you were really good and efficient and effective at answering those questions, but then also like that the YouTube video that I that you guys have put together that explains it actually clearly and concisely is able to explain and show what your system does. And I was like, see, that is a good thing because there's no smoke and mirrors. Here it is. Like it, don't like it. That's on you. And that, you know what? That's all that we can ask for.
Yep. Just awareness. Like we have to spread awareness with this thing
Right.
because I talk to agents every day. I may talk to them a day too late, a week too late, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I just spent $7,000, $8,000 on this program, and I'm regretting it. I want a refund, but they don't want to give me a refund. They told me I have to go through like 8 weeks worth of videos. And what you're telling me, you actually set it up for me today, and I'll get leads
Yes.
tomorrow for like
Yes.
nothing." And it's like it's a no-brainer. We have to keep things simple, very
Mhm.
simple. It doesn't have to be complex. Very simple. That way we can have a clear vision and have consistency. And that's what you've done. You put together the vision, the system. Now you have just stayed consistent, do your thing week in, week out, or day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, So you got the ball rolling now. So I'm excited to see what 2023 is going to bring to you, and it's going
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
super
huge.
excited too.
And, maybe if I can help you from here, grow your account with what you're doing now and to show you different strategies on to grow what you got going on. Cause, just depending, we can do that, or I can do that for you as well,
I'm
so.
excited because I'm excited about growing it with more of my agents as well because I've got several new agents, like brand new agents that they have been able to write business like just right from the beginning. And that's the thing that it is this system is very duplicatable,
Mhm.
which is the thing that I get super excited about
Yep.
because it's one thing for myself as a veteran agent to be able to do this and to use this system and put it into practice, but to be able to see this and then have somebody else and say, okay, so I want you to try this and get this set up and then see them have success and
Exactly.
they like the ink is barely dry on their license
It,
and
it,
still see them have success with it. That's the thing that's I'm excited about.
So that's the plan. Getting now, and we're just for the audience. We're recording this video in the middle of December 22, right? I have the mastermind that I'm going to be launching January 1st of 2023. The mastermind is going to have everything in it. From the free CRMs, the lead gen training is going to be for free, access to top producers on the life and health side, telesales training, underwriting training, face to face, lead gen setups, and so let's say you just onboard 7 new agents or something like that. I'll say, okay, tomorrow we'll have a 2-day class. Tomorrow and the next day we'll stay on for an hour each day, and I'll help them set up their whole lead gen system, something like that. And it's going to be very affordable, and we'll do it in a group setting with our peers, and I'll be able to help agents do that. A more affordable cost for them up front, but I get to help more agents, and see more agents have success. So it's a win-win situation on both sides. And we have access to each other every day, live Zooms, whatever, whether it's me or other top producers, talk about lead gen every day. And everybody has success, has fun, and everybody's happy on both ends, so that's going to be the goal. So we just definitely have to stay in contact, getting into the new year. And I'm looking forward to helping your agents grow because, like you said, that's a beautiful thing for you to do this and pioneer it within your agency and have success. But then, you have your other agents that are calling you, you're right, Diana. I just wrote 3,000 a day in premium. I'm pumped. I got 20 more leads tomorrow and 10 booked
Yep.
appointments. Everyone's excited. Everyone's happy, having fun, growing the business. When you don't have a system and you are stressed buying $30 leads, and that it's just, it's not fun.
You,
And
you're
it's
leading
not.
with commission breath. You
Yeah.
can't help but to be like this because you feel like you've got to make something happen because it's a $30 lead. When it's, $3, $5, it's like I spend more than that on coffee.
Yep. 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 You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. So, before we end the video, I want to talk about you growing your team, right? And with the whole lead gen side of things, were you growing a team and onboarding agents before you started having this system generating your own leads? And if so, that's fine. But when you're onboard agents, you want to have confidence in like, what can I offer them of value,
Yeah.
And now do you feel like, okay, I'm confident bringing in agents because now I can't only teach them how to sell and do what I do, but I can offer them a system with leads and systems and things like that. It gives you more confidence that they will have success and stay with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Full transparency. This was a big reason why I was looking for something else as well,
So you can grow.
because I am definitely doing more recruiting now and bringing on more new agents because I am more comfortable with this is going. Everybody, I know as a new agent, people if they're looking for a new opportunity, it's because most of the time they are in need of a job and an income. And so that means that you don't have $20, $30 a lead to put into it. That's a
Right.
big investment, which means that now, you're either needing me to give you leads, match you leads, something. And like, I'm not trying to come up off the hip like that for everybody. So it slows down the ability for me to be able to listen. I got 6 kids.
Well, the other
I'm
thing
not trying
is,
to do that for everybody.
we
Now,
can't give handouts to agents as well
exactly.
because they need to come with the mindset.
Right.
I have to do this and I have to go through the
Exactly.
trenches. We can't give handouts
Right. And
because a lot of
so,
this is mindset.
right. So, and what, I didn't have a problem with matching because if you don't have any skin in the game, then you're gonna treat them just like they free leads. People don't work what they don't have anything. If they don't have skin in the game, then they're not doing any dials. It's just
Mhm.
it is what it is.
Exactly.
But with this, I it's just what the cost of whatever it is that you have set for your threshold, then that's all it is. Nobody's making any money here. It's based off of how much it is for your leads to be generated.
Yep.
And people are like,
Yep.
nobody's got a problem with it
Right.
because full transparency. I'll let them know up front, this is what it is.
I love it. I
It's the
love it.
cost, it's the cost of doing business.
I love it. Before we end this call, tell me about a day of writing 10,000 in premium. When you wake up that day, what does that look like? Did you have lots of pre-booked appointments? Did you just if you just get on a roll and just back to back to back, just wrote all these policies? Were they more larger policies than normal? What is writing 10? I'm telling you, I questionnaire. I have a questionnaire for agents that I talk to several agents every single day. 365 every single day of the year, right? I talk to agents, but they go through a questionnaire before they talk to me because I like to see where they're at in the business, right? What they got going on. 90% of agents that fill out this questionnaire make under 10,000. So like 4,000 to 7,000 a month in premium. There's no vision, there's no system, hardly know how to sell anything, don't know how to underwrite, don't know how to attempt to generate their own leads, right? And that's why we're on the phone together. So you're telling me, you have this system, right? But you made 10,000 in a day, in one day, so I'm just curious because my largest day was like half of that, 5,000 or something like that. I was pumped. Oh, that was a good day. I'm gonna have a $10,000 week, so it's like, what does a $10,000 day look like?
So I set that goal for myself. I was like, I'm gonna write $10,000. Like I just said to myself that this is what I wanted to do. And so I had some pre-booked appointments. But what I did is when I write out the premium from the policy. So, and I'm actually going to pull it up on my, so I write down how much they're paying for their policy. So somebody who is paying $113.26 a month. So I keep track of how much each person is paying a month, and then I just keep adding that up until I got to multiplying out the annualized premium, and I just kept on. I had look here at my calendar for the number of appointments that I actually had. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 appointments booked onto my calendar.
Goodness.
So I call those, and then the ones I actually had written, and then I just kept on dialing until I hit my 10,000.
You had 14 pre-booked appointments, and
Yeah.
you just kept dialing. You hit 10,000 that day. Everyone
Yeah.
that's watching this is very possible. Okay, this is very, very possible. You know, forget selling 10,000 a day. I mean, you can sell. Let's focus on selling 10,000 a week. You know, if it's possible in a day, it's definitely possible in a week.
Yeah.
So you're living proof that you can do that. Just working, keeping your blinders on, going to work, staying consistent, actually making the phone calls, and and not hanging up with the first smoking mirror was not even an objection, right? A lot of times when someone says something over the phone, I'm not saying this to be rude, but sometimes you just ignore it, and get into the next question. Just flow through the call,
I somebody said something at a training that I did attended early on, and it was like, just put them in the SOB pile, slide over, baby. And I'm like, oh, you in the SOB pile, slide over, baby. That's where you going. Me, I'm like, nope, you are not messing with my groove. SOB over here, SOB pile. You in the slide over, baby. And so when I was doing that, my 10,000, when I hit that 5,000, I was like, ooh.
Yep.
I'm on it. I got this now. I got this. And so, just
awesome.
Breaking it up into smaller pieces instead of looking at it, trying to look at the whole annualized, just looking at it in chunks.
Yep. So that's what helped me get through my day-to-days when I was going. I had a spreadsheet, right? And I tracked everything daily, weekly, monthly. And after I got off a phone call, I would plug that in as a contact, right? And if I made a presentation, then when I say presentation, actually got to that quote time in the phone call, whether they said yes or no. And I would keep on putting the numbers, let them add up on the spreadsheet. It automatically calculates everything. So I knew my numbers like to a T, and I knew, okay, I made this many contacts today so far, this many presentations. I'm due for an app now. My next phone call, I can almost guarantee you it is going to be an app. If I get on contact with them, it's an app. Happens every time, but you got to know your numbers. And it's exciting tracking your numbers because it gets fun. It's like a game you're playing with yourself. And you look up at the end of the day, you're like, hey, I made, $3,000 a day. I only made, 38 phone calls and not 180 phone calls. And I gave 5 presentations and I closed 3, or 6 presentations and closed 3, whatever it is. And it's fun to do that because when you do that, you can wake up on a Sunday morning. I always say this, you wake up on a Sunday morning, about how many leads you do the numbers backwards. You say, if I want to make $8,000 this week, all right, I need about this many leads, this many contacts, this many presentations. I'll write this many apps for about this much in premium, give or take, right? And you'll know about exactly how much the leads are going to come in for. You just do the math backwards, and then what's going to happen. And it's fun. I try to explain this. Not everybody is a Diana Castile and can just catch on and get it and rock and have $10,000 days and things like that. But everyone can do it.
$10,000 is only $840. It's a little less than $840.
Yep.
In monthly premium. So
yep.
That's the way I broke it down. It's like I can do $840.
Yep. It's perfect, perfect. I love it. And I think it's just going to grow. This is going to grow as we grow this. And as you see your team growing and growing, and this is all just going to come into fruition, right? So let's definitely stay in contact. And I think you and I could definitely do another video within the next couple of months after maybe we go through these classes and we set up all of your other agents and get them rocking and stuff. And our next phone call would be like how your agency, wrote 40 grand in one day or something like that, your agents and the fun that we had and things like that, and the camaraderie that we all built together. So thanks for coming on today. We never actually had any conversations, I guess, besides the first initial conversation we probably had. So I love hearing people's stories, from the beginning to now. And it's just like, it's amazing. It's awesome, because there are a lot of naysayers, especially on YouTube channels or anyone. You can't sell Facebook leads. Why generate your own leads? Why this and that? Why have pre-booked appointment? Why anything, right? But they just don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know what they're doing, right? It can definitely be done, and it's being done every single day.
Yeah, anytime I see that, and I've had people that have said the kind of stuff, and I'm like, no, you just can't do that. It's not that other people can't. It's that you stop saying it cannot be done. The fact that you are not doing it does not mean that it cannot be done. And I am by no means like spectacular. I tell people all the time, like, I am the poster child of who I make all kinds of mistakes. Like, I did my first in-home presentation and pages fell out of the book.
Don't make me tell you. Don't have me tell you about my first in-home presentation. Oh my gosh!
I give other people hope for being able to make money in this industry, but it's possible. You gotta put the work in. You can't go when stuff goes wrong. That's the problem. People are like, oh no, you gotta be able to take a punch and keep on going. That's the thing, is that it's you got good days and you got bad days, and if you take the good days and the bad days and put them all together, there's more good than there is bad, and that's the reality of it.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
The numbers are the numbers. It really is. It's a numbers game, and the numbers are the numbers. It's like you said, you're gonna have more wins than losses.
Yep. And if you track your numbers, you'll know exactly what they are. You'll know if you're coasting, if you can scale up, if you can scale down. The other thing is, tracking is very important, because let's say you're having an off week, right? And you're like, man, what's going on? I'm just not having the week I had last week. Look at your tracker. How many leads do I got? Well, I got the same amount of leads as last week. I'm making the same amount of contacts. Presentations. Why am I not getting to that quote? Is it me? Is it my mindset right now? What is it? Because I've done this the past 6 weeks in a row. That's when it's like, okay, something's going on that phone call, because you're making the contacts. It's the agent, always. And we have to admit it. Let me go outside, go for a walk, look and put a mirror next to my desk, smile, and start and record yourself in other conversations. That way you can go back and listen. You're like, okay, now I need to flow like I was. Get back, track your numbers. You know what's going on. You can dissect your numbers, know if you need to fix something, and in what area you have to fix it in.
I love that the recording is actually done within that system.
Yep. Yeah.
That is so key, because I've actually had agents send it to me, because so many times you'll ask an agent to send you the recording and they're like, oh, I forgot. That's not an issue anymore.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other thing. You grow in a team. It's like, all right, I have 100 policies written over the phone. Which one do you want to hear? It's like, just take this, study it, and mimic it. That's it. We have all the tools we need. We just have to work. We just have to work and stay consistent. So I love it. I'll tell you what, Diana, thanks for getting on with us today. It's been a pleasure having you on. You hold so much value, and you actually are in the trenches doing this every single day, on top of you having a whole other business. You know what I mean? So I love it. We'll definitely get on. We'll stay in contact. We'll get with your agents, your onboarding beginning of the year, and get them going. And I'm sure we'll be doing another video within a couple months, and we'll talk about where we're at then. Okay.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much.